will show you how to do a checkerboard a little bit differently than you see in other tutorials. You will need a square cutter. Make sure that you get a square corners one, because there are some with rounded corners. The square corners ones are much cheaper. For one, you see that I'm not using the black and white that you're used to in other tutorials when it's about checkerboard canes, but you know, I already have a black and white one. I don't use it much, but a golden translucent one I would use, so that's what I'm using. The other thing is that other tutorials show you how to cut thin matchstick-like pieces and calculate and all that. I hate doing that, so I prefer to reduce. So I have my clay run through the pasta machine on the thickest setting. I cut 4 squares, and then I layer up the squares. I just stack them together on each of the colors, and you know, the colors are exactly whatever you want them to be. The black and white is used for a lot of contrast pattern on making beads and focal beads, but whenever you have 2 relatively contrasting colors, you go ahead and you can make a checkerboard with them. I like to make translucent canes that have translucent in them, because I like to layer them and on top of the beads. And you can see, you can watch my translucent canes series on YouTube. I will post the link here to those. But anyway, so after I'm stacking my clay, I use again the cutter to make sure that I have nice clean edges, and then I will cut the stack into pieces that would have the cross section as a rectangle. I will actually use only 2 of those pieces, not all 3. Make sure that your pieces are really rectangular. You might have to go back and kind of refine a piece or 2 when you need to put them together. But anyway, as you can see, I have my pieces. When I try to put them together, I notice that one is not really good, so I go back and I refine the shape to make it the exact size square as the other ones. So I put them together. Make sure that you put them together in the front and in the back. You must pay attention to the alignment of the lines in the middle. The edges can be trimmed, the edges can be changed, but the middle cannot. So make sure that your lines in the middle align perfectly. Then once I did all that, all I have to do is to start reducing this cane. As you can see, it's only just 4 colors, just a little piece of the checkerboard. But by reducing the cane, you can make a checkerboard with as many squares as you want. You can see that I am using the roller and I'm doing only 1 pass, and then I turn the cane 90 degrees and do another pass just once. You can pet the cane like you would a cat, and then squeeze it and wiggle it a little bit to make the clay inside start moving. And once you get it moving, and you can feel it, you will feel it, then the reducing goes much faster. And you might want to turn the cane around, because some people have a different stroke coming and going, and you don't want your cane to get smaller on one end than on the other. But as you can see, once the clay started moving, the reducing goes much faster. Then once I get the cane to a length that will allow me to cut it into 4 manageable sizes, that means to form a cane that would not be too flat to manipulate, I go ahead and cut it into 4 pieces equal. I have 2 inches there, so I will be cutting it into 4 half-inch pieces. Make sure that your cuts are equal. And then once I have my 4 pieces, I will put them together And I will show you how you're supposed to put these together. If you try to put them together all at the same time, at this point, you will have the lines in the middle misalign. Because again, remember, you need to pay attention to the lines in the middle and make sure that the front and the end are the same. So if you try to do it like this, your lines in the middle will get messed up a little bit. So just go 2 at a time, align them properly front and back, and then you can put together those 2. And this time you see the lines in the middle are just perfect. So now I can start reducing my cane again. And I'm just pressing on the sides gently, making sure that I press equally on both sides. Just keep turning the cane 90 degrees around. You can help yourself with something flat. In this case, I am using my acrylic pad. And make sure that you don't get your cane skewed, because that is the only danger that threatens at this point, that you keep those squares square. Don't apply a lot of pressure, just a slight pressure, and then turn the cane around 90 degrees. It will be, this is the most difficult part until you get it to a size that will be manageable by a roller. There is a very nice contraption that you can find at tinypandora.com. They are called square pairs, and they are square in section long acrylic pieces that you can use to squeeze a square cane between them in order to reduce it. And they are also good even when the cane is bigger than the square pairs, even if you get the square pairs in 3 sizes. But you can still use them with a roller. So you see that now I got my cane at the size that is manageable by roller. I wiggled it a little bit more, and you see that now that I made the clay in the middle move a little bit by wiggling, it's much easier to use the roller. And you can keep reducing it. But I just want to show you, always you check the middle of the cane when you want to show it in a tutorial. And here's your checkerboard cane. Happy claying!